Welcome back to everyone's favorite Sunday racing, Sunday Night Lights. Last week, we saw reigning champion Josh Mertz pick up the win for round one, with the likes of Josh Clogg and Bryan Sawyer not too far behind. Will Josh Mertz look to build a winning streak, or perhaps will a new challenger take the trophy tonight? Find out next with TWRS NASA Rallycross Lights from Knockhill. Our venue for tonight is the virtual Knockhill Racing Circuit, which will be celebrating 50 years of being open to the public later this year. Coming in at just 0.086 of a mile, Knockhill features 6 turns, 5 to the right and 1 to the left. The lap begins just before the top of the hill, before dropping down immediately into the toughest dip. The signature dirt section has but one lane with tire barriers on either side. Drivers will need to show some precision as not to wreck. Down the back straight, and the Joker here makes for a slightly longer lap. Drivers will have to be careful of the merge around the final corner of the normal lap. Back up the hill will complete a lap here at Knockhill. Our format for NASA Rallycross is as follows. Tonight, 24 cars will be split into 4 heat races, 5 laps apiece, Joker lap once. The top 2 will transfer to the feature, winner gets 3 bonus points, and the runner-up gets 2. The rest of our competitors will be funneled into the semifinals, 5 lap races, Joker lap once. Those winners will also receive 1 bonus point, and the top 2 drivers from each semifinal will transfer for the feature. This sets the grid for the 12-car, 10-lap feature race, where points are awarded and trophies are handed out. Unique to NASA Rallycross, 2 Jokers are taken during the feature. The second test of Rallycross Lights for 2024 begins tonight. This is the second round, my apologies. With Victor Vallee in the production truck, my name is Jared Lott, up in the commentary box, along with series sponsor James Watson. We welcome you to Knockhill Racing Circuit. Looking for some great Rallycross setups? Big news! Team Watson Racing Setups has chosen to sponsor NASA Rallycross Lights. With sets meticulously crafted by Francois Martel, you'll be sure to find success in all of your Rallycross endeavors. Our cameras for the entire season are provided by Whiplash SimCams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/Whiplash Media. Our coverage all season on ASN is brought to you by NordVPN. NordVPN, your gateway to online freedom and security. Protect your digital privacy with military-grade encryption, browse the web anonymously, and access your favorite content from anywhere in the world. Receive up to 63% off a 2-year plan at nordvpn.com/ASNTVUSA. And finally, our intro music was produced by our very own Alex Abedi. Now, we ran a little bit short on time there because they cut the practice short by 2 minutes. So let's take a quick look at our grid for Heat 1. Of course, James, welcome. Our grid is going to be Josh Clogg in P1, Matt Bell in P2, Bryan Sawyer in 3, Robbie Kirtley 4th, Chris Loon in 5th, Daryl Young 6th. We didn't have as much time to talk today, so hopefully we get some good action going here. How are you feeling coming into tonight, James?
Bit nervous. This track can get very chaotic as they're already green.
Coming down the front straight now, 3 wide, Kirtley on the outside, a little beating and banging, way too much of the curb for Clogg there. Runs wide, Belton puts too much e-brake and it goes off into the grass. Cars are kind of bunching up behind him. Looking at my timing screen, it's all over the place right now.
That was a sketchy rejoin right there.
It was a little bit of a scary start there too from everyone. It didn't seem like anyone wanted to necessarily pick a line. There was definitely a little bit of fighting there. Cars are starting to bunch up behind Josh Clogg. Signature Josh Clogg starting to run away, rounding the final corner for lap 1 already. I feel like we're off to just like a really fast-paced start here. Let's try and gather ourselves up, take a look at the field. Matt Belton being chased down by Bryan Sawyer coming into the first couple corners now. As you saw in that first lap, you really got to avoid that curb on the right-hand side or you'll just two-wheel. Bryan Sawyer sends it up the inside, gets on the grass for a tighter line, and takes over Matt Belton like it was nothing.
Yeah, you imagine Bryan was not thrilled with that rejoin right there. There's not a whole lot of space that you have at your disposal in the dirt section. It's very claustrophobic. So if someone has to take an evasive maneuver, they can't really do a whole lot.
Looks like Bryan Sawyer and Belton both went for that Joker that time by. Josh Clog still way out ahead. Looking through the field now for any battles. Chris Noonan currently holds on to third, being followed by Daryl Young. Cars are starting to space out a little bit. Young is starting to trail back after running wide, coming onto the dirt. Almost makes contact with Sawyer there. Sawyer surely just happy to get out ahead, have some clean air in this dirt section. Man, things are really going off. This is going to be 4 heat races. We've got a full grid tonight. It's going to be a 12-car feature. I'm interested to see.
You love to see it.
Yeah, I'm interested to see who comes out of these heats on top here, and semis as well later on, as Noonan goes for his Joker. Looks like Daryl Young behind also went, so far only Josh Clog has not gone. So he's probably going for his typical last lap Joker, or second to last lap. He is 1.6 seconds ahead of Robbie Kirtley, who's holding on to the second transfer spot. Bryan Sawyer 4 seconds behind him, so Bryan is going to have to bring it back in the semi-final. I don't know if he really likes this track very much, so it's definitely an interesting performance from him. Josh Clog going for his Joker now. Kirtley does not. I believe Kirtley already did his. Oh no, I stand corrected. He has not taken his Joker yet, so Robbie Kirtley is going for a last lap. Clog holding on to second place. Coming out of the Joker, Sawyer not too far behind. White flag. Robbie Kirtley leads, which is a bit of a shock to me. Seems like Josh Clog.
Whoa! Oh! Well,
like
Belton turned in just a little too early on that one. They
Sawyer
were
now
both
has to
all
chase
out
down
of control.
Clog. I don't know if Sawyer has the pace to do it.
It's going to be interesting. I think Kirtley has a lot of distance to travel, but he's going to have so much extra speed and momentum leaving the Joker.
Keeping an eye on him now. Sawyer comes out way ahead, manages to snag that transfer spot in the last corner. Let's take a look at those results again. Josh Clog, P1 as expected. Bryan Sawyer comes out with a surprising P2. Robbie Kirtley third. Matt Belton fourth. Chris Noonan fifth. And Daryl Young in sixth. Moving on now to heat number 2. Let's take a look at our grid here. For our grid for Heat 2, Josh Mertz is going to be starting on pole, followed by Joey Morissette in 2, Philip Kraus 3, Jake Robichaux in 4, Ed Boyles Jr. in 5, and Eric Dubois, who's returning this season, in number 6.
This is literally JC Synsport versus Slate Pex this heat.
Oh yeah, it is. 3 from each team here, on the grid now, waiting for the green flag. Green flag, here we go. Josh Mertz and Morissette on the front line, pretty much neck and neck, coming down towards the first set of turns. Mertz on the brake a little early, gets 2 tires off the ground, going side by side into the dirt section. Looks like Morissette's just going to get shoved wide, shuffling back now into 4th. Cars bunching up behind Josh Mertz. Field looking out to be Josh Mertz, Kraus, Ed Boyles Jr., Morissette, Robichaux, Dubois in the back. Not sure how much Dubois got to practice. I have seen him be fast last season, but hopefully he has some performance on. Rounding the final corner now.
That was an incredible start by Mertz. Like, he caught so much curve. Like, I could almost hear like a little ding ding because he was bicycling so much.
2 wheels. It's not the fastest, but it does look fun, and it is fun, I will tell you that. Little battle back in 3rd. 3-way battle here. Boyles, Morissette, and Robichaux. Contact between them, a little pushing and shoving. Morissette is not happy sitting behind Boyles. Wants to take P3 back. Maybe can fight for the transfer.
Yeah, who's going to take the Joker? Who's going to blink?
Coming down the back straight away. I'm looking ahead. Josh Mertz has taken his Joker, putting Kraus into the lead. Looks like that would be Ed Boyles and Dubois behind, also taking Jokers. Interesting merge there. It looks like there was some, not really like, I wouldn't say team because they're not team, but there was a little bit of courtesy shown there on the merge.
Yeah, that's the smart thing. This is one of the most dangerous Jokers in all of the Rallycross because of how far off you have to go to make it, and you're carrying so much speed. And it's so easy to just lose track of the cars around you when you're not taking the Joker. You kind of can't figure out when that car that's taking the Joker is going to pop out. So it could easily end very badly for everyone.
Fastest lap for Philip Kraus, 38. Oh, sorry, Josh Mertz, 38.1. Looks like that time by Morissette. Did. Looking through the field, my timing screen is updated here. Looks like Philip Kraus is the only one to not take Joker so far. He leads way out ahead on lap number 4 of 5. Looking on field for battles. Looks like Dubois has dropped back quite a bit. Ed Boyles has caught up. Still 2 seconds between it.
Yeah, Boyles is like a couple seconds off the rear of the field. Wonder if he had some sort of issue in the Joker.
Morissette, oh, I looked ahead there for a minute. Morissette almost lost it coming around the last corner. Almost hit the bollard on the start-finish line.
But he dropped
the
lap while doing it.
Guess if it looks good, it doesn't matter.
Hey, speed doesn't always look pretty.
Looking like our 2 transfer spots are going to be held onto by Philip Kraus and Josh Mertz. Morissette is over almost 5 seconds now behind Mertz. Philip Kraus taking his Joker now. Final lap. Josh Mertz is going to be able to transfer over. No contention there. Josh Mertz is going to take heat number 2, followed by Philip Kraus.
And Phil to the future. Get it? That was a Phil of the future pun. For like the 5 people that understood what the heck I was talking about.
That's the rest for our grid. Joey Morissette, Jake Robichaux, Eric Dubois, and Ed Boyles Jr. in last. Josh Mertz apparently fastest lap all the time. Looking at heat number 3 here. Starting on pole for heat 3 is going to be Marcos Palacio. Kieran Liftlander on 2, Jess Rakowski 3, Vinny Sowers in 4, Joseph DiGiacomo in 5, and Matty Grove in 6th. Now, I must admit, I've actually never seen Palacio drive. So it'll be very interesting to see what he can do.
You're going to see him in front a lot, I can tell you that much.
Waiting for the green flag. Sowers on the right-hand side might have jumped the start there. He got a really good start coming out there. Coming down to turn 1. Bump on the right-hand side. Sowers squeezing Palacio a little bit. Palacio does not take kindly to that. Problem there in front. 3 cars all the way in the back, pretty much. He did not take very kindly to that move. He comes out ahead. I'm sure we're going to have a look at that one later with the stewards. See really
Matty Grove was the second loser of that. He lost so much time trying to get around the chaos. He had to come to a complete stop. That is unfortunate for him.
To see if any drivers regain their composure after that one. Grid shift right now. Palacio first, Rakowski second, our 2 transfer spots. Giacomo third, who just got overtaken by Liftlander. Not sure if there was a Joker strategy involved there. I was looking at the leaders. Giacomo 4, Matty Grove 5. Vinny Sauer in 6th with a huge amount of damage all the way in the back. Looking for any battles on field now through the dirt section. Cars are kind of spacing out. Seeing 1.2 is our smallest gap right now. Look to see if Liftlander can catch up. Liftlander does not. Joker Rakowski does. He got a little too much of that last corner, though. I would not be surprised if he gets a slowdown for that one. Definitely track limits coming into question.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm very curious on how this battle's going to go. Liftlander is immensely quick, so I'm very curious on if he's going to be able to make up that deficit.
A little update from our incident earlier. Sowers is actually out of the race now. He has parked that car. Had a little too much damage to continue. So that's a bit of a tough start to the night. Liftlander definitely closing in half a second quicker that last lap by. Now just looking for Joker strategy at this point. These 2 have not Jokers up here at the front. Liftlander with a 37.5, fastest of the night so far, I believe.
He is flying. That Easter egg paint is fast.
Taking a tight little line there through the dirt section, getting real close to the tires. You can't get too close, though. I've seen too many drivers bounce off these things in practice. Chasing down Palacio now. Let's see if either of them go for a Joker. Palacio does. Liftlander does not. Liftlander's going to save it for the last lap, it looks like, which could work out in his favor if he can build big enough of a gap here on the final lap. Palacio keeps ahead of Rakowski through the Joker. Rakowski definitely wants that transfer spot. I know she does.
I don't think she's going to get it, though. These 2 are flying.
Liftlander coming out of the dirt now. He has to take the Joker this time by. Rakowski's actually closed the gap pretty significantly to Palacio ahead. Just 1.2 seconds. Liftlander rounding the final corner of the Joker as our 2 and 3 come around the final corner of the normal circuit. Coming out just behind is Jess Rakowski, searching for a little too much speed. Could not make it work. Our 2 transfer are going to be Palacio and Liftlander.
Gotta give her that. She absolutely sent it.
Palacio first, Liftlander second, Rakowski third, Matty Grove fourth. Best the rest. Coming into heat number 4 now, the final heat. Looking at our grid here, Dan Carrito is going to start on pole, followed by Gerald DeFino in 2, Eric Kaplinger 3, Jeff Cartwright 4, Joseph Pasucci in 5, and Jacob Krasp in 6. We got another one of those Volkswagen Auto Group cars here on the grid. That's going to be Kaplinger. Definitely going to watch out for him. I know Bryan's going to be cheering him on from the pit lane. Waiting for the green flag now. Green flag is out. Carrito gets a good jump on the front lane there. A couple cars in the back got a really good jump, too. They're starting to catch up. That'd be Krask and Cartwright coming down the first set of corners now. Kaplinger running a little slower than the guys in front of him. That's going to allow these two on the 845 Subi team to come out in front. DeFino Carrito chased down by Kaplinger. Excuse me, it's Saints and Sinners now. It says it on the side of the car. Looking here, dirt section, everyone's kept it clean so far. Over the bumps, Kaplinger definitely looking to make up some pace that he lost on the start there. Gets a little bit of the grass on the outside, way loose coming into the final turn. Takes it to the inside wall.
No.
Gets absolutely yoinked by the tire barrier there. I mean, that's just going to be a race. I know if that was me personally, I would park that car.
The start of the season for him has not been great.
Someone just slammed the tire barrier. There is Joseph Pasucci upside down on the first set of corners. He managed to get that thing righted, but he's going to have to park that car for sure.
Kaplinger's still on the track.
Coming around to the first part of the dirt section, I did notice DeFino take over Carrito. Carrito was just a little bit slower. He's going to go for the Joker this time by. Looking for the rest of our field now. Cartwright also went for his Joker that time by. Kaplinger did too, makes a big mistake in the Joker, and he's going to park that car. That's going to be 2 out this heat, I believe. Yep, we've got 2 parked, so this brings it down to just a 4-car grid. I mean, DeFino's just running away with this race.
Yeah, this entire heat is now basically both factions of S and S going at war with each other, trying to see who transfers in.
Yeah, we'll have to check on the collusion there, see if anything's going on, what they got against the Volkswagen Auto Group. But nonetheless, looking at our grid now, not really any battles on field. Looks like Carrito went for the Joker. No, sorry, Krask went for the Joker. So Carrito's going to take the transfer spot now. Cartwright came in front of Krask, almost hit the pole on the right side of the start-finish line there. He got a little slidey going loose. Everyone is Jokered now, so strategies are complete at this point. It's all pace or mistakes. Speaking of, Caster's Curse a little bit there. Cartwright now pulls ahead into 3 with Jacob Krask in 4. Looking at Carrito and DeFino, I'm sure they're just going on a Sunday drive right now. They're just kind of keep the car together, make it to the finish. DeFino taking the white flag now. Krask starting to drop off the back end of Cartwright, coming around the final corner. Gaps are just kind of all over the place. I would say pretty much we have a set podium here for this race.
We say that, but it's almost nearly a very bad mistake by DeFino.
And as we said, we have to watch out for these tire barriers. Too many people go bouncing off these things like they're made of rubber, because they are.
Aha!
DeFino coming out of the dirt section now, rounding the final corner. No incident to be had. It's going to be heat number 4. Win goes to DeFino, and Carrito will transfer. Jeff Cartwright 3, Jacob Krask 4, Eric Kaplinger 5, Joseph Pasucci 6. Wow. Having 4 heats is a little crazy.
Crazy fun.
Crazy fun indeed. Coming up 2. This should be semifinal number 1. Robbie Kirtley on pole, Jeff Strzokowski 2nd, Matt Belton 3, Matty Grove 4, Chris Lunan 5, Joseph DiGiacomo 6, Daryl Young 7, Vinny Sowers 8. So 8 cars in the semifinal. I'm used to about 6 or 7 in these, so 8 is a lot. It's going to be 2 transferring out from the semifinals here. So we'll definitely be looking to see what the leaders do strategy-wise. Obviously, we'll have to look at that if they make it to the feature too. 2 jokers there, but for now, let's keep our eyes on this one here. Waiting now just for Matty Grove to grid. James, I haven't been giving you too much room to talk. What have you been thinking so far?
Honestly, this is a little less chaos than I was expecting, but it's still been pretty crazy. And here comes more craziness.
Flag now. Cars pretty much evenly matched. No one got a great jump there. Kurtley and Rakowski on the front row. Rakowski's going to drop back into 3. Smart move there to avoid any contact. A couple drivers get real close to the tire barrier. We got some insider information. If you get that grass, you are a lot faster than if you go wide through the dirt. I believe it was half a second was the delta there, so drivers need to be taking that a little bit tighter to get a good dirt entry. Come out cleanly over the bumps. Looking at our standings now. Let's see how they've come out here. Kurtley first, Belton second, Rakowski third. Looking out for any first lap joker takers, and it's going to be nobody. Everybody on the grid does a normal lap first time live. Kept it clean so far. We've got 2 4-car packs going on here. Kurtley leading the first one and Lunan leading the second. I'm sure Lunan wants to close that gap in case of mistakes or jokers. I mean, there's battles all over the place.
Oh! You can't park there.
Giacomo and Young get caught up together. Back up front, battle for the lead has actually closed up now. Matt Belton chasing down.
Who blinks?
Kurtley.
Who takes the joker?
Both of them are going to go.
Interesting.
That's going to complete their strategy. They're going to drop back a significant amount, I'm sure. Matty Grove comes out way ahead. Looking to see no incidents on the merge. Kurtley and Belton come out 4 and 5. Rakowski 6 closing down on them now. A little bit of a 3-car battle.
Grove's the only one of the top 4 that didn't take it. Wow, this is terrible. The top 3 are stuck behind Lunan and Sawyer. This is working out perfectly for Matty Grove.
As you can see, 1 car wide here through this dirt. You really can't make any moves there, because if you make one wrong mistake, you are in those tires and pretty much out. Kurtley and Belton are now free to run wild. Matty Grove is over 3.5 seconds ahead of these guys.
Is Belton gonna behave, or because they cannot afford to lose any more time? But then again, this is basically the battle for the final spot. So does Belton try to sneak by and just concede the win to Grove, or do they stay in line and try to see if both can slip by? I
Grove
think
definitely made a bit of an error. The gap closed down for a little bit there for the dirt, so he's not particularly fast.
Yeah, he lost like a second.
Filling up the mirror of Kurtley in front. He wants that transfer spot bad. You can see it. Fastest lap for Kurtley, 38.469. Surprising considering Matty Grove is out ahead, but you can see the pace difference there.
Oh!
Contact between them. Rakowski comes almost piling in. Belton comes out clean. Looks like everyone's all right there. Rakowski now chasing down Kurtley. I don't think she has it to make up 2 positions, though, to make it into the feature here.
Wow. The run to the finish is going to be insane.
A couple of drivers taking way too much of the grass again. That'll have to be looked at by race control later on.
At the... Oh, Rakowski almost got him.
Grove made a big mistake by taking a last lap joker. Maybe a little bit of beef there. Belton and Kurtley are going to take transfer spots.
Was that accidental, or do we have a beef alert?
Rakowski, Grove, Lunan, Young, Sawers, DeGiacomo, best of the rest. So Belton and Kurtley will transfer to the feature. Wow.
That was spicy.
Semi-final number 2 grid is going to be starting with Morissette on pole, Cartwright 2, Robichaux 3, Jacob Krask 4th, Eric Dubois 5, Joseph Pasucci in 6, Ed Boyles Jr. 7, and Eric Kaplinger in 8. Everyone's on the grid relatively quickly this time, as Morissette blinks out of existence. Not quite sure what happened there. Green flag, he's back on the grid, made it there. Not quite sure what happened there.
Oh man, that was nearly pure disaster.
Almost contact on the back row there. Drivers doing a bit of a zipper merge like they should, getting onto the parkway. Too wide coming onto the dirt. Cartwright getting shoved way wide.
What a
Boyles
move by
manages to sneak
Robichaux.
up. Robichaux is moving up into 2.
Oh!
3 different
Oh
drivers
my
going into the
god!
tires
Oh,
there.
they're dying. Oh no!
Pandemonium in the back. That's going to be 4 out of our 8 drivers.
They're all
included
involved.
in that
They're
wreck.
all on the fence. The track is jammed. The track is jammed.
Not surprised we didn't see a red flag there. That would have been quite the spectacle. Morissette pulling out ahead at this point. 1.8 behind him to Robichaux. Robichaux trying to hold on for a transfer spot for sure. We've seen him come up with a lot of pace this season. I'm not quite sure if he's been putting in extra practice, but compared to what I saw in 2023 C, it's almost like a different man. So it's definitely exciting to see him riding on board with Ed Boyles Jr., who's going to be number 3 chasing down Robichaux for that transfer spot. Robichaux does have a lot of front-end damage from hitting that tire barrier, which caused a big incident. Looks like a couple of drivers are going to go for the Joker. That's going to be Robichaux for the Joker. The rest of the field is now just entering the back straight as Morissette's entering the first set of turns. We've got cars all over the place right now. Looks like that was Cartwright taking the Joker. Rask made a mistake way in the back. He's probably going to park that car. I know I would if I were him. Got a lot of front-end damage. I mean, there's just cars all over the place. There's pandemonium in this semifinal.
I think the damage on Robichaux is really affecting him. I think Ed might have pulled the Joker Delta. He's about 4 sec. Oh, 6 sec. Yeah, I'm just that.
Suchi and Krask are all but out of this race. Cartwright chasing down Dubois, but it's going to be fruitless there, it looks like. It's not for anything except position.
Oh.
Krask
He
has
had
decided to
the
park
Joker
car
Delta. Emphasis on the had.
Man,
Got another ding ding from that one.
I don't even know what to look at for this field. Cars are all over the place. So many mistakes, so many errors going on there. And there we go again. I speak of it and it happens again. Kaplinger into the tire barriers. He's going to drop all the way back down to 6th. Kaplinger's been having a rough start to this season. Hopefully he's able to shake off the, whatever bad juju's on him right now.
Yeah, 2 races that he does not want to remember.
White flag. Morissette way in the lead.
Yeah, Boyles took the Joker and he's behind Robichaux. That mistake was costly. Did he make contact too? It looks like he must have hit something. I don't remember that damage being on the right front there.
No, possibly made a mistake through the tire barriers, what have you. Morissette rounds the final Joker. There, comes out cleanly ahead of Jake Robichaux. He's going to take the win. It's going to be Morissette 1, Jake Robichaux 2, Ed Boyles Jr. in 3. Best of the rest, Jeff Cartwright, Eric Dubois, Eric Kaplinger, Joseph Masucci, and Jacob Rask. Wow, what a set of semifinals there.
Phew.
Now we've got a bit of a big break coming up here. Of course, this will set the feature, the feature grid here. Drivers are prepped to chase a win tonight. As we can see, they are hungry for it. But before we head into our feature race for the night, let's hear a quick message from our sponsors.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to nordvpn.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Absolutely be doing what he has to do. He has to go for the championship. He has to recover the points that he lost. He's down the race, takes the lead in the 12. What a move. And he takes the lead and holds it.
Side between these two in the terminal. This is going to get spicy.
Exiting turn one, over the jump to begin the first lap. Clog is the inside line. McFarland contact between them. They are still side by side. This opens the door for Wetz. He can't make anything happen. In the 26, he has not won in quite some time. Dragster acing the entry to turn one, up Eddie to the inside of Magnus, gives him a nudge. The grip strip on the inside, Phil. Wetz had a little bit better run, but looks like Ronnie's going to hold the spot.
You're so interesting.
We welcome you back to round 2 of TWRS NASA Rallycross Lights at Knockhill. Once again, with Victor Vallee and production truck, my name is Jared Lott of the commentary box, along with series sponsor James Watson. Before we continue, I'd like to thank our sponsors. Huge thanks to our new series sponsors at TWRS, who provide our setups for the night. Our coverage tonight was brought to you by NordVPN. For up to 63% off a 2-year plan, visit nordvpn.com/ASNTVUSA. Our cameras for the entire season were provided by Whiplash SimCams. Check them out at facebook.com/Whiplash Media. And finally, our intro music was produced by our very own Alex Abedi. Now, coming in, we have a little bit of time left here. Let's take a look at our 3 keys to the race since we didn't get to earlier on. Of course, be wary of the lack of space in the dirt section, as we have seen. The Joker exit is hard to predict. You may end up with a car in your lap if you're not paying attention, as we have seen. And the downhill braking zone will make the car really unstable. That one we haven't seen too much of, though we have seen the two-wheeling. All right, well, while we have, let's see, looking at 4.5 minutes here, James Watson, I know you had some things you wanted to talk about, so, of course, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I just wanted to expand upon the keys to the race, you know. Oh, it's very difficult, the braking section down into turn 1, because you're going downhill. It's really easy to unsettle the rear of the car, especially when you have cars all around you and trying to figure out where they're gonna go. It can be pretty nerve-wracking at times. And the dirt section, as we've seen it already wreak havoc, it's so narrow, and those tire barriers on all sides will just reach out and grab the car. Just the slightest little touch can severely screw up your race, as we've seen multiple times already. And as we've seen too, the Joker, you're going so far off the beaten path and you're carrying so much speed off that neither party, the car taking the Joker and the car not taking the Joker, can really figure out where that car is going to exit. If you're not paying attention, you think you're okay, and then all of a sudden, oh look, there's a car going at a high rate of speed about to slam into my rear. So you just gotta be really careful about that. It takes so much give and take. That's why we saw in the first heat, I forget who it was. I want to say Chris Lunan kind of moved out of the way as the Joker car was coming through. It was Jake Robichaux. Because the speed difference is just, you can't do anything. So if you just try to keep in front, you might get punted. Even if the car behind isn't really trying to punch you.
Yeah, I mean, we saw how dangerous that merge is, especially now that we're going to have 12 cars here. I mean, we were talking about it while we were on the ad break. I know Victor down at the production truck has his eyes on Liftlander for a win tonight. Who do you have your eyes on here, James? I'm going for Josh Mertz. He's the reigning champion. He's took round 1. I know Bryan Sawyer was close in contention there too, and Josh Clogg, but honestly, like, who do you think's going to come away with this tonight?
Yeah, I think Liftlander in the Zeems cars might be the guy to beat in his Easter egg. But it looks like he's driving an Easter egg with that paint. I know my organization is one to talk when it comes to brightly colored cars, but I really enjoy that paint, honestly. So I think he might put it up the top step of the podium.
Well, when you got to paint that bright, it's obviously to see how fast you're going. We've got just under a minute and a half left here. I mean, I don't know if we have much else to talk about. We could talk about who else we've seen that's fast tonight that didn't make it here. Like Jess Rakowski in round 1 had a great performance, not here tonight. I guess we'll take a look at our programming notes too in a moment here.
Just unfortunate for her. She finished just outside of the transfer spot in both the heat and the semifinals. Agonizingly close.
Alrighty, well, our programming notes, they're a little bit wrong there. Next round for Rallycross Lights is round 3. It's going to be March 31st at Brands Hatch. Oh, that's for tomorrow night. My apologies. That's going to be OSS NASA Rallycross Challenge. That's round 2 tomorrow night at 8 p.m. EST.
Oh yeah,
9
today is
EST.
the 24th. That's right.
Today is the 24th. And we have our new series, OSRL, who we are streaming for. Round 3 is going to be Hockenheim. That's on March 28th at 8:30 p.m. EST. And, of course, as we already talked about, we're back here next week at Brands Hatch. I'm hoping to hear soon, maybe, Josh, if you're listening, for the sports car series to come back. I had a really good time in the GR86s there. So I'd like to see that series make a return so I could maybe get back behind the wheel. Because these cars, they are not for me.
Amen. I say in agreement.
The warm-up has ended. 5 seconds here. Drivers need to get off the track so we can take the grid. Only one driver did not go out during practice. That was Robbie Kirtley. So hopefully he makes this grid. Speaking of, let's take a look at the grid. 12 cars in the feature, starting with Josh Clogg on pole, followed by Josh Mertz, battle of the Joshes. Marcus Palacio 3rd, Gerald DeFino 4th, Bryan Sawyer 5, Philip Kraus 6, Kieran Liftlander 7 has some fighting to do. Dan Carrito 8, Matt Belton 9, Joey Morris at 10, Robbie Kirtley 11, and Jake Robichaux in 12th. Waiting now for just one driver to get on the grid. That will be Gerald DeFino. Everyone is on the grid now. Absolutely massive with 12 cars. I'm excited to see the pandemonium here. Waiting for the green flag now.
12 cars enter turn 1. How many make it out the other side?
Josh Mertz on the front row with a really bad jump. Liftlander way wide down in the back there. Looking to make up some ground early. Contact between Sawyer, what was that, Sawyer and DeFino?
Oh no. Oh my
big
goodness.
pile up. Mertz probably out of this race. That car is done. What an absolute shocker here. Josh Clogg, of course, comes out clean, way ahead of everyone.
Major championship implications.
Looks like Morissette has also blown up. His car is spewing smoke all through the dirt section. He is pulled off onto the grass. Liftlander has made his way up to 3rd in the matter of a lap. We've had 2 cars park it. Josh Mertz and Joey Morissette. What is going on?
This is a very expensive night for JC Simsport.
Looking back to the field, Liftlander and Sawyer having a bit of a battle for 3rd. It's going to be a battle for the podium. A huge train behind them, starting with Philip Kraus. Kraus, Carrito, Kirtley, Robichaux trailing just behind them. Defino a little bit further back, who's going to be running effectively last right now. Oh man, there are cars everywhere right now. 12 cars. I knew it was going to be pandemonium, but I was not thinking that bad right off the start.
Yo, that was violent.
Major implications. It's a shame that Josh isn't going to be able to snag any points here, Mr. Mertz. Maybe we'll finally have some different faces to talk to tonight. Looking through the grid now, gaps all over the place. I'm seeing so much red on my timing screen. Looking like a battle for second going on. Actually, Palacio's managed to chase down Clog, which is not words I thought I would say anytime soon. Clog, Palacio, Liftlander all nice in a bundle here.
Yeah, I mean, you say that, but there's only a handful of people that can keep up with Josh Clog on pure pace, and Marcos is one of those as he makes a mistake and loses a lot of pace.
I mean, we have seen Liftlander is really quick, so Liftlander definitely has some, torch to hold the Josh Clog here. Wow. Looking for strategies. Looks like Bryan, Sawyer, Kirtley, Defino have taken their jokers. Robichaux has completed his. Liftlander goes this time by, followed by Palacio. Back half the pack. Looks like 3 cars went that time by. I can't even tell who it is. Belt and Carrito. Too many cars are going on right now. Got everything all over the place. Josh Clog has built a huge gap. Of course, he's saving his jokers for the last couple laps, most likely. Looks like Belton and Carrito teammates working together here in the 6 and 7 position. Definitely trying to catch up to Bryan Sawyer, who is starting catching up to Philip Kraus. Philip Kraus is also catching Palacio, so these 3 through 5 and 6 almost are, 3 through 5 are a battle here. Bryan Sawyer actually dropped off a little bit there. You've got Kraus in the Joker. Sawyer does not this time. Looks like Liftlander did not this time as well. Fastest lap. Thinking about the Joker, it would be a very long run taking it on the last lap. So if Liftlander is able to close this gap even just a little bit, he might be able to jump Josh Clog. Of course, he does have Palacio right on his rear end.
I think I noticed some damage on the front of Clog's car. Look at that.
Clog does have a little bit of damage. He's usually clean, so he might have hit one of those white tire barriers or something coming through the tire hall in the dirt. We know that turn 1 and 2 tire barrier is a little bit interesting there. Or is that 3 and 4? My correction. As we've seen drivers get really close there, like Liftlander just did that time by. Looking back in the pack now, searching for battles here. Looks like Kraus has been caught up to by Bryan Sawyer. Carrito behind them. Oh, excuse me. Kraus is caught up to Palacio. Battle for third here. Clog and Liftlander starting. Well, actually, that would be a completion of a strategy for Liftlander. Just starting the strategy for Josh Clog. So Liftlander is absolutely playing his cards right. Lap 8 out of 10 now.
Yeah, he's within the Joker Delta. This is going to be really interesting in another lap or 2.
Definitely going to keep our eyes on these top 3 or 4. Bryan Sawyer starting to close down on Palacio now. Liftlander closing in on Clogs. There's a little bit of a gap back to Palacio from Liftlander. It's about 2.5 seconds, but that's enough to make up if either of these drivers make mistakes or make Joker mistakes. Liftlander pushing for his life right now. Fastest lap there, 37.568. Looks like someone might have made a mistake coming out of the Joker. Who's that going to be? I see a pink car. Bryan Sawyer now has some damage, sends it way too deep into turn 1. His wing is all bent. His car's all out of whack. His steering's definitely messed up, so that's his race going to be over there. No more contention for the top 3. Philip Kraus, 6 seconds behind Marcus Palacio. Liftlander overtakes Clog on the white flag now. Liftlander and Clog. Palacio overtook him too.
Got by. This is incredible.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. There's
That
just so much
totally
going
caught
on
us
here.
off guard. I didn't even think about it until I saw and be like, hey, Palacio suddenly had a clog. That's neat. Wait a minute.
Clog is still looking to close the gap through the dirt here. 0.7 behind Palacio. He does have that podium secured. Liftlander way out ahead of these guys is going to take the checkered flag, this time by, he will win
Dominant.
round number 2 here at Knockhill. Followed by Palacio and Clog. P7 on the grid. Looking back now, Philip Kraus coming across the line. Bryan Sawyer behind them with a little showboating, of course. Looks like Kraus, Belton, Carrito, Sawyer, Robichaux, Gerald DeFino in 8th. Kirtley and Morissette and Mertz were out, so 9 out of our 12 managed to finish that race. Wow. I mean, there was so much to talk about there. I couldn't even begin to tell you.
We needed more eyes to watch all the action.
Definitely a third set of eyes would have been nice. Let's give these guys a couple minutes to get out of the sim, get their showboating done with, so we can get them here to talk to us. Don't know if we'll hear from Palacio. We definitely won't hear from Clog. We never hear from Clog. I mean, there was just so much that went on there. I don't even know what to say. All I can say is that I hope we have 24 cars every night, because there was so much action there. I would love to see something like that every single week. It would just be perfect for the series.
I think this was my favorite race we've ever broadcast. I've ever broadcasted here, at least.
Let's take a look at our results here. Finalized results now. Kieran Liftlander with the win, followed by Marcus Palacio in 2nd, Josh Clog 3rd, Philip Kraus, Matt Belton, Dan Carrito, Bryan Sawyer, Jake Robichaux, Gerald DeFino, Robbie Kirtley, Joey Morissette, and Josh Mertz, best of the rest. Like I said, we had those bottom 3 out pretty much within lap 1. So that was a lot to go on there. As we try and gather up some people, looks like we're only going to get Liftlander to talk to. And you know what? That's fine. We'll just recommend.
Hello, gentlemen. Not to rudely interrupt.
Hello, Josh Mertz.
The 20 car has been disqualified for track limits infringements, just so everybody knows.
The 20 car? That's Liftlander. Okay.
So, I'll say this publicly on stream. It has been noted in the driver's meeting. You have to keep 1 tire on the AstroTurf in the final corner. Lap 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 9, and 10 in the feature, and there was 2 laps in the heat race. So that is a complete disqualification for car 20 this evening. Sorry, Jared. Continue.
Thank you, Josh Mertz. Wow. I don't believe we have anyone else to talk to then. Unless we want to get Philip Kraus, who's just been promoted to 3 in here. Let's see if anybody can find Philip Kraus here. Alrighty, well, hello, Philip Kraus. You have just been promoted to P3 per car 20 disqualification live on the air here. So congratulations. How did your race go there?
On pace alone.
On pace alone.
I don't know. The whole field kind of got junked in turn 1, lap 1, so that completely changed how the race was actually going to go. But yeah, I just kind of tripped into that, to be honest. I didn't have the pace of Josh or some of the other guys who got caught up in that turn 1.
You didn't hit any walls.
I did. But yeah, I mean, I'll take it. But obviously a shame turn 1 wasn't clean, because I think Josh probably would have had someone for other Josh and Marcos.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what else to say. James, do you have anything?
Yeah, what was going through your mind with that turn 1 melee? I think that was one of the craziest crashes that's been broadcasted on ASN in turn 1.
Honestly, hope someone doesn't hit me somewhere that I'm gonna get toe damage or blow an engine. That's about the only thoughts going through my mind. And like, someone smacked me right on my right rear tires, so I'm kind of lucky that I didn't have wheel damage that whole race.
Alrighty, well, I think that's all we have. Is there anyone you'd like to thank before we send you on out of here?
I guess I should thank Josh for dragging me out of the retirement home.
It took long enough.
Don't worry, I'll put myself back in it. But yeah, that's about it. You guys on ISN for putting on good show. I haven't had a chance to watch it, obviously, but I know you guys do good work.
Alrighty, well, thank you for coming out here tonight, and congratulations on a 3rd place there.
Cheers.
Alrighty, we are working on putting together the points. Let me head back to the script here now that we went a little off. I'll go ahead and move Phil down there. Sorry for the bit of dead air here. We definitely a little confusion with Sir Josh Mertz popping in here.
Yeah, we got a few things to sift through.
I suppose we have a moment. I'll thank our sponsors again. So, huge thanks to you guys, James Watson, for providing the setups and sponsoring the series. Of course, our cameras for the entire season were provided by Whiplash SimCams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/whiplashmedia. And our coverage tonight was brought to you by NordVPN. For 63% off a 2-year plan, visit nordvpn.com/ASNTVUSA. If you liked what you saw, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network. And if you'd like to race, all of the info is at nasasimracing.com. Wow. I guess we can take a look at our programming notes again in case you guys did forget. It's going to be Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge Round 2. That's tomorrow here at Knockhill. It's going to be contenders at 8 p.m. EST and supercars at 9 p.m. Of course, we're back here next week, March 31st, for Round 3 at Brands Hatch. And OSRL GT Series Round 3 is Hockenheim, March 28th, 8:30 p.m. EST. Let's give Victor in the truck there a moment to get his points all sorted. Let's take a look at our point standings here. I'm not entirely sure if those are all updated. They are correct now. Okay, well, Josh Mertz is going to be our points leader, followed by Palacio after tonight. Oh, they are tied for first place now. Josh Klog, of course, in 3rd in our standings. Philip Krause, 4th. Bryan Sawyer with the Volkswagen Auto Group, 5. Jess Rakowski, 6. Joey Morissette, 7. Dan Crito, 8. Matt Belton, 9. JP DeFino, 10. Not sure if we have any more drivers to show there. Nope, we'll take a look at the teams now. James C. Simsport holding on to their lead, with Saints and Sinners closing in with their, I want to say 6 drivers. Pocket Sand Inc., not sure who runs that one there in 3rd. Volkswagen Auto Group. We know the 2 pink cars of Bryan Sawyer and Kaplinger. Slapex Racing in 5. Something looks a little bit off there. Alright, well, the bottom, you can pretty much disregard everything down from 6th. I don't believe we have anyone else to thank tonight. So, the checkered flag falls on the evening. From all of us at the Automotive Sports Network, from Josh Mertz, Jess Rakowski, Victor Vallee, Chad Irvine, Philip Krause, Justin Robichaux, Cody Erdman, James Watson, and Bryan Sawyer, my name is Jared Lott. We hope you enjoyed today's coverage of TWRS NASA Rallycross Lights. Be sure to join us tomorrow for Round 2 of Supercars here at Knockhill. And until next week, have a good night, everybody.